how I'm utilizing AI in my work to speed up the process and actually make it more focused and more like applicable to my audience in my own content creation, while sounding more and more like me, using voice notes and my natural language. So what I've been doing is I have been recording in a voice note over here in Otter AI what I'm doing as I'm working for clients. And these voice notes like range from 2 to 10 minutes, where I just talk through what I'm doing and explain it. I'm just talking out loud, so it's not putting me out of my way. I'm not doing anything extra that I'm not already doing. So here is an example that we're going to use for today. I was working on a win-back email campaign for a client, and I was just talking through the process as I was doing it. So I'm going to create a LinkedIn post, which will also be shared on my Instagram, about how I created this win-back email campaign, like the strategy behind it, the steps behind it. So the first thing is I quickly read through it just to make sure it recorded properly, because the main points are summarized here, and that is pretty good. I go into the transcript. I export the transcript. Exports the transcript, not the summary. I want it in text file. PDF is also fine. And I export it. I remove all the branding because I don't need that for what I'm doing today. So I've got this, and I will jump into my doc for the post. It's pretty basic, pretty clear. I want to do one post and one carousel a week. I'm focusing more heavily on the carousels because these voice notes that I'm recording, they're quite process driven, as I'm speaking out loud of the step-by-step of what I'm doing. So it makes sense for me to lean more heavily on carousels this month and just share as much value as possible with my audience. And then of course a post as well that accompanies it. So it'll be a bit more of an overview with the post, and the carousel will be of more of a, this is how I do it, step by step. The layout, as you can see, it's nothing crazy. I've just got it in a normal doc file to make it as efficient as possible to copy and paste into the scheduling platform once it's ready. So then I go into my ChatGPT, my voice print avatar, and I first attach the file that I'm going to be using. So I've already downloaded a few, but I'm going to attach the latest one. This is the email campaign. So this is the text, and then I'm going to give the AI a prompt. Let's see what it comes back as. In some cases, I do break it up and give it one task at a time. So I would split the prompts and do the normal post in one go and then the carousel in one go, but I just decided to do it all in one go. And as you can see, the prompt I'm using is just like really human language. Another thing that you can do, which I didn't do because I'm recording this, is typically instead of typing out the prompt, I would use the voice note function and just explain what I'm after, because I feel it comes out a bit more naturally than typing it out, and it's also faster. The really key golden thing here is this part here, using the transcript attached and using only the words and language in the transcript help me pull out the main topics. So the reason it's important to mention using only the language in the transcript is that's when it stops the AI from spitting out this randomly generated language and actually stays true to you and your brand and what you've said. All it's doing is taking that transcript and it's just reorganizing that information into a more LinkedIn friendly format. That's it. It's not using anything else. And as you can see, this part's a little bit annoying. We can ask it to get rid of it, but it's saying what this is indicating, those links, is that it's taken the content from the transcript. So it's almost confirming that, like, yes, these are the exact words that were said. I take this, I copy it over to my file. This is like my first draft. I edit it. Here you go. So now I'm going to make some edits, and then that's 2 posts done without having to create something from scratch. I'm going to edit it now, and then I'll come back and show you where it is. So just having a look here, you can see there are some formatting issues that look a bit like ChatGPT. There's random headlines that it's showing me based on the prompts and the directions I gave it. and the infamous M dashes, which I used to love before ChatGPT came in. This is a good starting point. So this is, already it's 80% there. I'm going to give it a human tweak. I'm going to accessorize it, and then so it's definitely sounds like me, but giving it that LinkedIn polish. I'm going to see if I can optimize that headline a bit and just make it a stronger post. So the first post, it's pretty good. I did just some very, very minor tweaks that actually shows me that it's taken my words, like this is how I speak anyways, and because I did that work, I know that this is like very true, and it's explained the process really well. So it's just sharing like that I've been working with this business owner in the creative e-commerce space. They weren't using their email list. This is very story driven, so I want someone to imagine that this is them in the position, and then just shared that this is what I've done over 4 weeks. This is the plan of what's going to happen. Just a bit of context to the industry, how re-engagement flows work, what is like the value of it, just sharing some results that have already come through and asking a question at the end. So that one is ready. Then we're going to go through the carousel. So the headline, I just want to tweak that. It says not sending any emails or ghosting your list. I always prefer to have my headlines in sentence case. It's easier to read. We're more trained like that. It's easier for the eye to glide over that type of copy. Unfortunately, title case now is more synonymous with AI. So I'm going back to the roots and basics to make it as user-friendly for the reader as possible. And this is more about educating somebody. Now I'm happy with the headline and opening. It needs to be strong and catchy for somebody to keep reading. I'm also framing it more in a question format because even though it's an image, it aligns better with how people are searching on the internet, because we're moving into this AI space. So we're asking more question format rather than asking for very specific answers that are list based or numerical. So I'm going to go through and edit the rest of it, and then that will be my 2 posts for the week done. I've got the carousel ready. That typically does take a little bit more tweaking because the carousel needs to sound really personal from you. So I do like to take my time to make sure it's a good, helpful one. So we've got the opening. If you're not sending any emails or ghosting your list, here's why you should have a re-engagement series. Then we've got why should you create a re-engagement series, why focusing on a 4 to 6 weeks re-engagement campaign, why you should send 3 emails in a week, what should be in the emails, why should you start with the highest engaged audience, why should you stay away from salesy emails, why should you introduce yourself on the first email, why does the voice print email method work. This is the method I use, like using these voice notes like I'm literally doing right now. And then the last slide is a call to action to get some engagement and to start a conversation and to see what the audience thinks too, because that's also nice. Then I've got a little carousel caption that goes with it. It's shorter than the typical LinkedIn one just because it's already a lot of content for somebody to read through. It's just like a little synopsis of what to expect. Then a call to action to swipe through the carousel. So this is how it looks, and then I just need to get that popped into a graphic template, which shouldn't take too long, and it will be ready to send. So this is how we went from a little voice note that I recorded into a finished LinkedIn post. And then for context, I can use this exact transcript and even the outline of the carousel to create a long form authority driven blog post. I can turn that into an email, and I can even go deeper into each little topic to create more pieces of content. So technically, you don't have to stop at just using it for 2. I can create like numerous pieces of content from this. I can talk about why is it important to get your list health back up. I can talk about what should be inside the email. I can talk about why should it be 4 to 6 weeks, why 3 emails, why not 1, why not 5? That's another piece of content. What should be in the emails, and how to segment the audience, and why you should stay away from salesy emails. And then there's so many different options. So you could see here how easily from one voice note that is here 7 minutes, you can turn that into like 10 plus pieces of content that can turn that into scripts for short form. We can turn that into a YouTube video. What else? Can turn it into tweets, whatever platform you're on. There's definitely potential to do a lot. I hope that was really helpful. If you would like some support turning your voice notes and natural language into really engaging human-led content, please reach out and I'll see if I can help you with that. And if you do give this a go, let me know how it was. Did you like it? How did you find it? Was it difficult? Was it easy? Did you come up with a new way yourself that you liked? Yeah, let me know.